Welcome to another Tech Help video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I'm your instructor, Richard Rost. Today we're going to build an expense tracker. I'll show you how to track your recurring expenses, whether it's stuff that happens weekly, every other week, monthly, quarterly, whatever, right? Your grocery bill, paying the electric, your car payment, your mortgage, all that stuff. We'll put it in the expense tracker. You'll put in the date you last paid for it. Right? And the frequency, right? Is it monthly, daily, whatever? How many days, right? 2 weeks, right? 1 week, 3 months, that kind of stuff. And then the database will let you sort it by when it's next due. It'll show you red if it's overdue, right? Yellow if it's due soon, green if you're cool. All right? That's what we're covering in today's video. And for those of you who've been following along with my account balances series that I just did, for the extended cut for the members later on, we're going to integrate this into that database. So you can hit this button here to mark it paid and add those transactions to your transaction list in the account balances database, which is why I built the expense tracker, because I want this for myself. All right, here we go. All right, so first off, if you haven't watched the Excel version of this video, go watch this first. I'm going to show you how to do your recurring expenses in Excel first. You have your expense, the name, right? The account that it comes out of, which we're going to tie this into the account balances database, right? The amount, the date that you last paid, quantity, the frequency, is it monthly, is it daily, is it yearly, right? And then we're going to calculate the date that the payment is next due. So go watch this video first so you kind of get more of what we're doing, right? Now, I am going to use the database that I built in the account balances series. It was a 9-part series that I just finished. You don't have to use that if you want to, but I am going to use the account table and some of the forms that we built in that one. Okay, so is this necessary to go watch it? No, you don't have to, but you'll get a little more benefit out of it if you do, right? Definitely go watch my date add video though, because we are going to use the date add function today, and this is what's going to control how we calculate the next date that this is due. All right, so go watch this. These are all free. They're on my YouTube channel. They're on my website. Go watch them and come on back. All right, so I'm going to open up the account balances version 0.09. This is the database as it was after the 9th part of the account balances series. Let's open this guy up here. Where are you? There you are. Okay. Now, for those of you who are not members, you may see some little extra things here and there that I've added in the extended cuts along the way, but you can just ignore that stuff. Okay, now this is a split database, and usually I say go to the back end and add these tables, and then we'll link them back in. But we're just going to build these tables in the front end for now, and then we'll move them later, okay? All right, so we've got our saved transaction table. This is saved transactions. These are ones that you can manually say, okay, run this one again. But we're going to make another one for recurring transactions, things that happen like every month, every week, every day. You got stuff you got to pay every day. I had a loan like that once. I had to pay it daily. Weird. Okay, so let's start off with a recurring transaction table. All right, so create table design. This will be recurring transaction ID. And I'm going to copy recurring transaction to my clipboard because we're going to type it a couple times. That's my auto number. Okay, recurring transaction name. That's basically the description of it, right? Remember, we don't ever use a name as a field name, right? It's a reserved word. Okay, account from ID. That's going to be a number. That's a foreign key pointing to an account table. Okay, and this is where we're going to get a list of our accounts from, right? Where each transaction's coming out of. Okay, where are we at? We've got an amount, currency. We've got a date last paid. That'll be a date, duh, right? A frequency ID. Now, unlike in the Excel video where I just put an M or a D or a Y in the column, in Access, we're a little more sophisticated here. We're going to actually make a frequency table. For those of you who are a little more advanced, could I use a helper table for this? Yeah, I could, but I'm not going to. Helper tables I usually throw into databases where I'm going to have lots and lots of different little tables. This one's not going to be that database. It's only going to have a couple little things. I'm not tracking people in here where I got prefix and suffix and Mr. and Junior and all that. No. So we'll make a frequency table. It's okay. All right. We got a frequency quantity, QTY. That'll be a number. And I'm going to default that to 1. So when you add a frequency like month, the default will be 1 month. If you make this day, the default will be 1 day. You don't have this 0 and have to keep changing it. Right? Okay, and if you want to put notes in here, put notes in here. I see I still go to type an M for memo. How long do they make this change? Okay. Notes, by the way, is pretty much the only field that I will still make plural. Why? I don't know. It's an old habit. I try to make everything singular. All right, let's save it. This is another reason why I copied and pasted recurring transaction T. Okay, primary key. Yup. That's that guy. And let's close it. And let's set up our frequency table while I'm thinking about it. Create. Table design. We've got a frequency ID. I'm going to put a sort order in here. That'll be a number. And that's just something you can manually order them because the default order is going to be day, month, year. And they just happen to be in alphabetical order, right? DMY. But what if you add something else in there, right? Like weekly. Well, it should be before month, but after, right? You see what I'm saying? So that way you can manually control the order they appear. All right, description. And the date add code, short text. What is that going to be? Well, unlike in Excel, where we had to have multiple conditions in a nested if statement to handle it depending on which, day, month, or year, in date add, we've got this nice little set of codes we can use instead, where we can just plug that into the date add function as the interval, right? 4Y is for years, M for month, D for date. If you want to put weeks and quarters, you can. I don't. I'll put 7 days instead of 1 week. But if you want to have them in your database, if that's how you want to put the Legos together, put the Legos together that way. I don't care. All right. So these are what's going in that field. This way we don't need anything crazy. We just plug that data in here. All right. Save this as my frequency T. I had to think about it for a second there. All right. Let's put some data in here. All right. So 1 will be day, and that's just a D. And that should be 1 there, right? 2 will be week. No, that's month. M. You can put week in there if you want to. I'm skipping week for now. All right, 3 will be year. And remember, year is YYYY. Okay, not single Y. Single Y is day of the year. Okay, number from 1 to 365. Or 366 if you're in a leap year. All right, so there's our frequencies, right? 1, 2, and 3, day, month, year. Now, let's put some sample data in our recurring transaction table. Just a couple records. All right, let's see. Nice to have a little bit of sample data. Okay. So, recurring transactions. And I'm going to open up my account table below it so I can see what my account numbers are. All right, so let's say we've got the mortgage, the account from. Where are you paying this from? I'm paying this from my Regions checking account. So, account ID 2. Let's say it's $2,000. I wish, right? Date last paid. How about 6/15? Frequency ID. This is monthly, so that's 2, right? Day, month, year. And the frequency quantity is 1. Okay? Next up, how about the electric bill? Okay, account from ID. Let's say I pay it with my Amex. So 400 bucks a month. Date last paid, 6/20. Frequency 2 and 1. See how this works? Okay, pretty straightforward. All right, close that, save it. We're done with the tables. Now we can calculate the next due date in a query by taking that frequency information with the date last paid, and then boom, there's your next date. All right, so create, query design, go to tables, bring in your recurring transaction T and your frequency T. Okay, now just in case you got any ones in here that don't have a frequency, we're going to make this an outer join. It shouldn't happen, but just in case. I would, in fact, make that required. Let's see if I can still do it. Right click, design. Yeah, good. Frequency. Oh, not frequency. Recurring transaction ID, design. Yeah. Frequency ID, required. Yes. That's got to be required. This should be required. Yes. And I'm going to make date last paid required. I know I preach a lot about not having required fields, but that's in a case where it's like, you got an employee who just doesn't feel like typing in a customer's middle initial or something like that. But in this case, in order to add this record, you've got to have a date. We'll default it to today's date. They got a starting value. And that way, we don't have to worry about this, first of all. We don't have to worry about NZs all over the place if they're missing values, right? They just can't not put a value in there. So again, it's the things I teach, they're just rules of thumb. They're not like hard set in stone, right? I try to avoid recurring if it's just to prevent lazy people from putting bad data in, right? But sometimes you do want to use the required. All right, so in this query, I'm going to bring in the star from this side, give me all these fields. And I actually am not going to bring any fields down from here, but I'm going to you can use these fields in calculations. All right here. Let's try to widen that. There we go. Okay, right here, we're going to calculate our next due date. I'm going to zoom in so you can see it better. Okay, the next due date is going to be date add, as my date add function. First thing is the interval, and that's going to be the date add code. That's why I put the code in the table. Then the frequency, quantity, then the date last paid. Hit OK. Make sure those all have brackets around them, and Access didn't put quotes around it. Usually, if it sees it as a field, it doesn't put quotes around it, but sometimes it messes with you. Okay, so there's that. Save it. This will be my recurring transaction queue. Run it. And there we go. Look at that. There's our value. And it should be, but make sure you got the new row on the bottom because we do want to be able to add to this and at the form level. Okay. Let's throw another one in here. Let's do pest control. From account 2, let's say it's $150 every 3 months, and I just did it today. So frequency ID is going to be month. Quantity is 3. There we go. 3 months from today. All right. Disney annual pass. That'll be from my Amex, and it's $730. Let's say I paid it on March 1st. The frequency ID is 3. It's annual, and it's every year. Perfect. All right. So see how much easier that was than doing it in Excel? Unless you guys know an easier method in Excel. That's the way I've always done it. And yeah, Excel has a date add function in Excel VBA, so you could make a function out of it in Excel. But as far as like regular built-in Excel functions, no. Okay, now it's time to make the form out of this. I'm going to borrow the transaction form because a lot of what I need is already in there. So let's copy the transaction form right here. Copy you. And this will be the recurring transaction. F. Design view. Over here. All right. First up, change the record source. Recurring transaction. Let's change the caption. Recurring transactions. I like to change the color right off the bat too, so that I know what I'm dealing with. Let's make recurring transactions like a reddish color, because I always like to equate them with money that I'm losing. So let's go like that. Colors, let's lighten it up. All right, good enough. We're not going to need cleared. Okay, so the transaction name is going to be recurring transaction name. The account ID is going to be the from account ID, and up here it's going to be the account from combo. And this should keep all the formatting we put in here too. Amount is the same, and then date updated is going to be date last paid. Okay. We can get rid of the saved transactions. Actually, leave the button there for now. We're going to need some buttons in a minute. Okay, so next up, we need our frequency stuff. So this is going to be the frequency, and we need a combo box for that. So we're going to go to form design, drop this down, give me a combo, drop it there. Get the values from a table or query. We're getting the values from the frequency table. We need frequency ID and description We're going to sort by, oh, we got to bring in the sort order too. Bring in sort order. Okay. We don't need the data add code here. Next, we're going to sort by the sort order. Next, we don't need to see the sort order, so hide that. So now there's 2 hidden columns. Okay. And that can be nice and small too. And you can even, if you want to put in here just D, M, and Y, that's up to you too. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, I like that. I like D, M, and Y. Let's cancel and go do that. I like that very much. So get rid of that. I'm going to save this form. Let's go back to our table. Design view. Let's call this abbreviation, ABBREV. I like to make abbreviation and abbreviation because I don't like to type out abbreviation every time. Okay. Save that. We'll just put in here D, M, Y. You could do the first character of the description, whatever. There's a lot of things you could do, but if you have some different stuff in there, it might not always match up. So, all right. Now I can make that combo box again. All right. So where are you? All right. There. Drop it there. Let's start over. And this is part of the design process, by the way. You're never going to, I always teach in like Access Beginner 1, write everything out on paper, put all your tables together, all your queries, all your forms, draw them on paper if you can. But honestly, you're going to be in the middle of building and want to call an audible. You're going to want to change some little thing that you didn't plan for. So you're going to have to stop and go back. And the key is to try to catch as much of that stuff up front as you can. Because if you got to make a major change to a table afterwards and you've already got all kinds of stuff based on that table, it could be a problem. But I just want to let you know that me stopping and canceling and going back, that's normal. What developer doesn't do that from time to time, right? All right, so look up table or query. We want the frequency table again. What fields do we need? I need U, and the abbreviation. And let's go backwards. Let's put the abbreviation first, then the description. We'll see why in a second. All right, next. Sort by the sort order. Next. Okay. Key column is hidden, right? And this comes up all the time. Unless your table is based on, or your form is based on a table or a simple query, you won't see that. If you have an SQL statement over here, this guy's missing. I get this question all the time. All right, I'm going to hide the sort order. I'm going to make the abbreviation nice and small like that. So this is what you will see when you drop the box down. And then this is what you'll see when the box is, or excuse me, let me start that over again. This is what you'll see when the box is closed. You'll see both of these when you drop the box down, when you open it up. Okay, next. So we're picking a frequency. The ID is the bound column. We're going to save it in the frequency ID. Right? Next. What label do you want? Doesn't matter. We're going to delete it anyways. Hit finish. That's my reminder to delete the label and rename the box to frequency combo. Frequency combo. And now we can make this nice and small. The combo box button is bigger than the data in it. There. That should be about right about there. Save it. Let's see what it looks like. Recurring transaction form. Where are you? That's not too bad. We could go a little smaller if we want, but nah, that looks fine. Let's right align it though. Give a little more space in there. And it looks like this isn't quite on the thing. Yeah, see, that's why, because this guy came in just a slight bit too big. I can always see that. See that right there? Oh, it's just kind of slightly below. And then you bring it off the toolbox. You got to resize. All right, let's right align you. Okay, we need the frequency amount, which is the frequency quantity. Delete. Slide you up here. Let's do this and that and this. And put these next to like this, and we'll just do frequency one big like that. All right, the number and the thing. Let's see what that looks like. Close that, save it, close it, open. Oh, wrong one. I got so used to just hitting the accounts button in the last series. Okay, there we go. That looks good, right? 1 month, 3 months. Okay, I like that very much. All right, now for the date for the let's change these labels up here. This should be the from account, right? Transaction name. This is the date paid. All right, and we're going to copy this guy because I want the formatting. We'll just change the formatting a little bit. Copy, paste. Bring you over here. And this will be next to. Next to. Now you are going to change to next due date. All right. Save it. Close it. Open it. Okay. Now let's get rid. I wanted to keep this around for the conditional formatting, but let's get rid of the conditional formatting on date paid. I don't care how long ago I paid it, right? Because if it's an annual thing, that date's going to be a year old. I don't care. What I care about is the next date that it's due. So let's go to conditional formatting and just delete these rules, right? Delete, 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 delete. Okay. Now let's see what your rules are. All right, so these are going to be a little different. Well, let's go with the same rules we had before. If it's less than today's date, we'll use this one. All right, so field value is less than today's date. You are overdue. Okay, move to the top. Next is going to be yellow. And your value is going to be less than today's date plus 7. So due within the next week. All right. Same thing with this guy. We're going to go less than 2 weeks. And for this one, let's go less than. Actually, let's just go greater than or equal to 14 for the rest of them. None of them will be white then. So greater than or equal to date plus 14. All right, so it should be less than today. It's overdue. Due within 7 days. All right, due within 2 weeks, and then due in more than 2 weeks. All right, apply, hit OK. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, yeah, looks good. All right, these are past due. Today's the 27th. Let's add a few more. Let's say I've got to add my weekly savings deposit. And this will be from my regions checking. Love $100. Okay, yeah. See the frequency's coming in here. We don't have a. Do we have a default value for the frequency? I don't think we do. Yeah, that's what's happening. There's a 0 in there by default. Let's make that default monthly. I'll set it now. Oh, it was weekly. So days and then 7. Okay, and let's say that I made this deposit last on 7/25. Okay. Let's fix our tab order first. Design view. Tab order. Auto. Hit OK. You are not a tab stop, sir. Oh, I already was set the no. Okay. And all these guys should be though. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. And let's go to our recurring transactions, design view, frequency ID. My default for that's going to be 2. I think most expenses are monthly. Let's go with 2. All right. And recurring. All right, one more. Say you go grocery shopping every other week. So grocery, capital 1. You spend $400 every 2 weeks. All right, so you went last time you went was 7/2, and in 14 days you got to go again. Look at that, perfect. All right, one more thing we got to fix. If you highlight something in here and let's say sort it, you get this object doesn't contain the automation object color scheme. Because to get the color schemes for these guys, right, like we did with these guys, right, we need that color scheme field. We got to add color scheme to our query underneath. The recurring transaction queue, and we get it from the account table. So open this guy up, right? Because there's the account. Right click, design view. Add in, where are you at? Add table. Right there. Been looking at computers too long today. We're going to add in from links the account key, and that's got the, where are you? There's the color scheme right there. Okay, so we got to link this guy in based on the account ID. And that's going to be from the from account ID to account ID right there. And just in case, we're going to make it a left join. All right. And then bring in color scheme. And just make sure, make sure you still got your new row, but you should have your color scheme over here. Okay, now, with the color scheme in place, if we open up the recurring transactions, we get our colors. There you go. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, for the members in the extended cut, if you've been following along with my account balances series, we're going to make some buttons. The buttons will allow you to mark it paid only, right? Which means it just updates the dates right here. Or you can mark it paid and add those transactions to your transaction table in the account balances database. So that's pretty cool. That's coming up in the extended cut for the members. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut videos, and gold members get access to my code vault, and you can download these tech help databases. And if you want all of this stuff, the account balances, the expense tracker, all of it built into a nice ready to go database, I did put it together as the account balances and recurring expenses template. You can find more information on my website. There's a QR code you can scan right there, take you right to it. It's got all this stuff and more, lots of stuff I've added to it since I finished the Tech Help database. So check it out. But that is going to be your Tech Help video for today. I hope you learned something, folks. Live long and prosper. I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and post any comments you may have below. I do try to read and answer all of them as soon as I can. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, which is completely free. Click the bell icon and select all to receive notifications when new videos are posted. Want to learn more? Click the Show More link below the video to find additional resources and links. YouTube does a pretty good job of hiding it. It's right down there. See this part of the description here, right? The name, the video's up here. There's a little Show More down there, right down the bottom. It's kind of hard to find. But once you click on that, you'll see a list of other videos, additional information related to the current topic, free lessons, and lots more. And YouTube no longer sends out email notifications when new videos are posted like they used to do. But if you'd like to get an email every time I post a new video, click on the link to join my mailing list. And you can pick how frequently to get emails from me, either as they happen, daily, weekly, or monthly. Now, if you'd like to become a paid member of my channel and receive all kinds of awesome perks, click on the Join button. You'll see a list of all the different membership levels that are available, each with its own special perks, including my extended cut videos, access to my code vault, lots of VBA source code in there, template downloads, and lots more. I'll talk more about these perks at the end of the video. Even if you don't want to commit to becoming a paid member and you'd like to help support my work, please feel free to click on the tip jar link. Your patronage is greatly appreciated and will help keep these free videos coming. I got some puppies to feed. But don't worry, no matter what, these free Tech Help videos are going to keep coming. As long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making more, and they'll always be free. Now, if you really want to learn Access and you haven't tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access, including building forms, queries, reports, and more. It's over 4 hours long. You can find it on my website or on my YouTube channel. I'll put a link down below you can click on. And did I mention it's completely free? The whole thing, free, 4 hours. Go watch it. And okay, a lot of you have told me that you don't have time to sit through a 4-hour course. So I do now have a quicker Microsoft Access for Beginners video that covers all the basics faster in about 30 minutes. And no, I didn't just put the video on fast forward, but I'll put a link to this down below as well. Now, if you like level 1, level 2 is just $1. That's it, $1. And that's another whole 90-minute course. Level 2 is also free for paid members of any level, including supporters. So if you're a member, go watch level 2. It's free. Okay, want to get your question answered in a video just like this one? Visit my tech help page and send me your question there. Members get priority, of course. While I do try to read and respond to all of the comments posted below in the comments section, I only have time to go through them briefly a couple of times a month, and sometimes I get thousands of them. So send me your question here on the tech help page, and you'll have a better chance of getting it answered. And while you're on my website, be sure to stop by my Access forum. We've got lots of lively conversations about Microsoft Access and other topics. I have a fantastic group of moderators who help me answer questions. Shout out to Alex, Kevin, Scott, Adam, John, Dan, Juan, and everybody else who helps out on the site. I appreciate everything you do. I couldn't do it without you. Be sure to follow my blog, find me on Twitter, and of course on YouTube. Yeah, I'm on Facebook too, but I don't like Facebook. Don't get me started. Now, let's talk more about those member perks if you do decide to join as a paid member. There are different levels: silver, gold, platinum, and diamond. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut tech help videos, one free beginner class every month, and some other perks. Gold members get all the previous perks, plus access to download the sample databases that I build in my tech help videos, plus access to my code vault where I keep tons of different functions that I use, the code that I build in most of the videos. You'll also get higher priority if you do submit any tech help questions. Now, answers are never guaranteed, but you do go higher in the list for me to read them. And if I like your question, you got a good chance of it being answered. You'll also get one free expert level class each month after you've finished the beginner series. Platinum members get all the previous perks plus even higher priority for tech help questions. You get access to all of my full beginner level courses for every subject. And I cover lots of different subjects like Word, Excel, VBA, ASP, lots of different stuff, not just Access. These are the full-length courses found on my website. You get all the beginner ones. In addition, once you finish the expert classes, you get one free developer class per month. So lots of training. And finally, you can also become a Diamond sponsor. You'll have your name or your company name listed on a sponsors page that will be shown on each video as long as you're a sponsor. You'll get a shout out in the video and a link to your website or product in the text below the video and on my website. So that's it. Once again, my name is Richard Rost. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by accesslearningzone.com. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something today. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you again soon.